Welcome to the KZGN News. Today we're bringing news from Kevin McCarthy, news about the Navy ball coming, some things to do this weekend, today's KZGN Talking Points editorial, and much more.
From the Rademacher Hills to Bee Mountain and the mighty Sierras, Ridgecrest to Inyokern and China Lake, this is your news for the Indian Wells Valley with the KZGN News crew.
Hello, I'm Tom Whitnick. Thanks for joining us for the news affecting Ridgecrest and the Indian Wells Valley. Yesterday, we received this press release from Congressman Kevin McCarthy. Normally, we don't run lengthy press releases from representatives. However, since this is a major announcement, it was decided to run it intact. Here are Kevin's words. I am proud to be from the Central Valley of California. Born and raised in Bakersfield, the grandson of a cattle rancher, the son of a firefighter, and the product of Noble Elementary, Washington Junior High School, Bakersfield High School, Bakersfield College, and Cal State University Bakersfield. Our values are rooted in hard work and perseverance and centered around faith, family, and community. I am humbled and blessed that these values and the support of our community over the years has given me the opportunity to run for Speaker of the House. There are challenges ahead, but if elected, we have an amazing opportunity to make lasting conservative change for the betterment of our neighbors in the Central Valley, the Indian Wells Valley, and the Antelope Valley. And I know when we work together under the banner of freedom and opportunity, there is little that is out of our reach. Here is the full letter that will be sent shortly to the members of the Republican Conference. Friends, our conference has been through a lot together. We are a part of the largest Republican majority since 1928. We have made real progress towards shrinking an overgrown federal government and reforming our broken entitlement system. But our work is far from done. We can't ignore the differences that exist, but we can and must heal the divisions in our conference with work, time, and trust. That is why I have decided to run for Speaker of the House and graciously ask for your support. You all know me. We spent late nights on the House floor together. I visited your districts and met your families and constituents. More importantly, I have gotten to know your ideas, your goals, and your vision for our conference and our country. I'm running to be your speaker because I know that the People's House works best when the leadership you elect listens to members and respects the legislative process entrusted to committees. In short, I am guided by something Ronald Reagan once said. The greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. He's the one that gets the people to do the greatest things. But I am also sensitive to what is happening outside of the Beltway. I want us to be much closer to the people we represent, and I want them to once again feel like this is their government, that they are in charge, and we are here to serve them. If elected Speaker, I promise you that we will have the courage to lead the fight for our conservative principles and make our case to the American people. But we will also have the wisdom to listen to our constituents and each other so that we may always move forward together. Over the past weekend, I reached out to every one of you to listen to your opinions and ask for your advice. I know that you ran for Congress to make a difference, to leave a better country for your kids and grandkids. There are challenges ahead, but unified, we have an amazing opportunity to make lasting conservative change. And I know when we work together under the banner of freedom and opportunity, there is little that is out of our reach. I look forward to fighting with you for our shared conservative principles. Sincerely, Kevin. That was a press release from Congressman McCarthy. In news of China Lake, we have received this announcement. They have set the annual Navy Ball for October 16th at Kerr-McGee Center. The Naval Air Weapons Station, China Lake, California, Commanding Officer Captain Rich Wiley has announced that the station's annual Navy Ball will be held Friday, October 16th at the Kerr-McGee Center in Ridgecrest. No-host cocktails will be served from 5 to 6:30 p.m. The ceremony and dinner will follow from 6:30 to 11 p.m. According to the captain, the venue was changed from on base to out in town to accommodate access for community members who would like to attend. This ball will celebrate the Navy's 240th birthday. Members of the community, retired military, reservists, and veterans are encouraged to attend this event, which will include dinner, a formal program, and dancing. All those attending will receive a commemorative coin. The cost is a sliding schedule depending on rank. Cost is $50 for civilians. It's also $50 for active duty military personnel in the rank of E9 and officers in the rank of 04 and above. It's $45 for active duty military personnel in the ranks of E7 and 8 and officers in the ranks of O1 through O3. It's $40 for active duty military personnel in the ranks of E5 to E6 and $35 for those in the ranks of E4 and below. Anyone who would like to sponsor a military member at the ball can call OS1 Rasha Uteko at 760-939-4732. Tickets will go to the lower-ranking military members first. Attire is navy dinner dress blue, full dress blue for military personnel, and black tie, evening gown, or better for civilians. For more information or to purchase tickets, please call the Command Navy Ball representative, AC-1 Jed Spencer, at 760-939-5475, or Uteko at 760-939-4732. For an accurate dinner count, please reserve your tickets by October 8th. Looking for something fun to do this Saturday? Well, the USO on West Ridgecrest Boulevard is having a chili throwdown on Saturday. Just who makes the best darn chili in the valley? Get your taste buds ready. You'll get a chance to find out Saturday, October 3rd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. as the historic USO building continues its pre-celebration festivities leading up to the big 70th anniversary weekend, October 15th to 18th. The Chili Throwdown will bring together some of the best chili chefs in the valley. The public will get to sample these smoldering creations, along with a drink and a side dish and a palate cleanser and a ballot to vote for the best of the best, all for just a mere $10 per guest. Mayor Peggy Breeden and her panel of chili experts will be judging entries at 11:30 a.m. Eat hearty. Come join your neighbors. In more weekend event news, we get this announcement from the Friends of the Library. They are announcing a fall book sale. This book sale helps covers costs for the local library. The sale will be this Saturday, October 3rd, and will be in the old Albertsons Shopping Center on North Norma Street. It will run from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Library members can come 1 hour early and have first viewing of all the books. Members can start viewing at 9 a.m. Again, this is a book sale to support the local library. It is this Saturday in the old Albertsons Shopping Center. It runs from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Now stay tuned for today's KZGN Talking Points editorial right after the break. Thanks for staying with us. Now it's time for the 81st KZGN News Talking Points editorial. Here's today's topic. Should Kevin McCarthy get the speaker position? But first, a couple comments about last Thursday's editorial titled, Why are the police guilty of offenses when just one person feels they are treated wrong? John provided the following comment. I like what you said, except beat on, I would have preferred reinforced. He closed with, very interesting post. Thanks for your comment, John. I agree, I could have used better words for emphasis. The point is, police training includes a strong emphasis on respecting the people's constitutional rights at all times. And here's a couple comments from last Tuesday's editorial titled, Do any of you believe that extremist terrorists may be in these waves of immigrants coming out of the Middle East into Europe? Susie wrote, Tom, I think you are being a real conservative with scare tactics in place. Where is your faith in mankind? Wouldn't you leave a war-torn country too if you had a chance? Do you truly believe extremists are in the mix? Maybe you're watching too much Fox News or Glenn Beck or both. Did you happen to catch the Pope's speech to Congress today? Ken wrote, Susie, maybe you're watching too much MSNBC or Nancy Pelosi or both. Of course, there are bad guys mixed in with the refugees. They wouldn't pass up such a golden opportunity. I don't know what can be done about it, though. Harry provided this comment. Anyone who thinks that ISIS isn't using this situation to distribute their fighters into free countries around the world is sadly mistaken. This is just another Trojan horse operation. Well, thanks for your comments, folks. I'll answer Susie's questions here. Yes, I have faith in mankind, but not barbaric cowards that their goal in life is to kill all of us non-believers. I wouldn't run from my country being attacked. I'd fight to my death defending it. I haven't watched Glenn Beck in years. And you ask if I really believe there are terrorists in these millions of immigrants. Yes, I do. The majority of them are coming from Syria. Where do you think ISIS headquarters is? Syria. It is so easy for them to join in the exodus. Again, I hope I'm proven wrong. Time will tell. Now on to today's editorial topic, should Kevin McCarthy get the speaker position? Well, you'd think almost everyone would get behind their own congressman getting this position. Do you realize this position is number 3 position in the government? If the president died or was killed, the next in line is the vice president. However, if the president and vice president both died or were killed, the Speaker of the House would become the president. So the Speaker of the House is a very important position. So, is Kevin qualified to be Speaker? I say of course. He was first elected in 2006. He's been there for over 9 years now. This is longer than Obama was a senator before becoming president. Some may criticize him, asking, what has he done for Ridgecrest? Good question, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But first, let's discuss the actual position. Opponents to the Republican Party will not be happy because of politics. Of course, political beliefs influence the process. But the position is more than just politics. And the Speaker position is much larger than Ridgecrest. It's for the country. While there is a lot of stressing that the Speaker represents the party in power, it is also the position that helps set the tone for Washington. He sets what and how legislation moves through the House. He has to coordinate legislation with the House and Senate. He has to coordinate legislation with the White House. And finally, most important, he has to represent all of us. Do you think he can do that? I do. Now back to the question, what has he done for Ridgecrest? And that often is interpreted to money. First, when he campaigned the first time he ran for office, he campaigned against pork barrel project funding that Washington was noted for. And the Republicans have been somewhat successful reducing pork barrel budgets. So he never campaigned on a particular thing that he would do for Ridgecrest. He campaigned on things that would be beneficial to the country, and that in turn would be good for Ridgecrest. He has taken up the effort to help veterans nationally. His latest accomplishment is changing the distance veterans have to go for services. Now, veterans that have to go further than 40 miles can choose to use a doctor closer to them. This is very important to a community like Ridgecrest and all other communities across the country. He has promoted Eastern Kern County for being the West Coast spaceport. To help solve California's drought, he has been working trying to push Sacramento to start building new water storage capacity. He has tried to get a bill through with federal funding to help pay for water storage projects, only to be blocked by Democrats in the Senate and White House. Even our own 2 California state senators blocked this funding. He has pushed for and got funded more research into the treatment for valley fever. He is currently pushing for a change to locality pay for our DoD workforce that works at China Lake. He is pushing for equal pay grades for the people that work here with similar positions in Los Angeles County. So, you should see that being our representative is not just about what money he brings to Ridgecrest. It is, and should be, about serving for the benefit of the country. If it's good for the country, it should also be good for Ridgecrest. The real challenge for him will be to change the sentiment across the country about Congress's doing nothing. The current presidential campaign shows there's a large segment of the population real angry with the Washington establishment. There's anger on both sides. How this gets handled under a new speaker will be a challenge. In conclusion, I think Kevin McCarthy would be a great choice for the Speaker of the House. Remember, it's not supposed to be just about us as individuals, or a city, or a state. It's supposed to be about the country. I'm Tom Winnick, and that's what I think. I'd like to know what you think. If you have any comments about this editorial, or would like to discuss or recommend a topic, I'd like to hear from you. Please email them to info@kzgn.net. Now stay tuned for weather and sports when we come back. Thanks for staying with us. Let's go to Keith for the weather.
Thank you, Tom. From the National Weather Service, widespread showers are likely across parts of the eastern U.S., with moderate to heavy rainfall possible from the Appalachians to New England. Rainfall amounts in excess of 3 inches are possible for some locations. Flash flood watches are in effect for some parts of the region. Temperatures across the nation. Carolinas came in at 82, Georgia 73, Arkansas 77, northern Texas 70, New Mexico 66, and Los Angeles at 68. And for our forecast here in the IWV, tonight mostly clear with a low around 63, south-southwest wind, 5 to 10 miles per hour. On Wednesday, it will be sunny with a high near 98, south-southwest wind, 5 to 10 miles per hour. On Wednesday night, mostly clear with a low around 66, west wind, 5 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 20. On Thursday, sunny with a high near 95, southwest wind, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday night, clear with a low around 62, west wind, 15 to 25 miles per hour. On Friday, sunny with a high near 93, northwest wind 5 to 15 miles per hour. On Friday night, mostly clear with a low around 62, northwest wind 10 miles per hour. On Saturday, sunny with a high near 94, northeast wind 5 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 20. And on Saturday night, mostly clear with a low around 63, northeast wind 10 miles per hour. And for your Sunday, it'll be sunny with a high near 89, northwest wind 5 miles per hour. And that is a look at your forecast for the IWV. Now back to Tom and the rest of the KZGN News.
Thanks, Keith. Now let's go to Tom Heck with sports.
And a very pleasant Tuesday late afternoon to everyone. Let's start with baseball. Exciting 5 days left. The Angels win last night. They beat Oakland. Same two teams tonight. Luis Pujols home run number 558. David Murphy a walk-off single with the bases loaded in the ninth inning to give the Halos the win. As we start play today, the Halos now 2 games behind the Texas Rangers in the Western Division for the league championship. For the wild card, they trail Houston by a half a game. Minnesota's behind the Angels by a half a game. So long story cut short, with only a few games left, you've got the Angels, the Rangers, and Houston all battling it out for the Western Division Championship, and 2 of those 3 teams will figure, although the Twins may not agree, 2 of those 3 teams will figure in the wild card. One of those teams going and the other one staying at home. The Angels are a half a game behind Houston for that last wild card, and the Minnesota Twins are a game and a half behind Houston for that last wild card position. All right, the Dodgers could not clinch last night up in the Bay Area. They lose in 12 innings to San Francisco 3-2. Dodgers now have lost 4 games straight, but the good news is for the Dodgers that they pretty much, unless there's some kind of a miracle, they're going to win the National League West. The Dodgers and Giants play again tonight. If the Dodgers win tonight, they clinch. So we'll just have to play it one day at a time. It's a 5-game lead officially for the Dodgers over the Giants. Okay, other significant games. Toronto beats Baltimore. Boston beat the Yankees, so now it's 4.5, the lead in the East. Looks like Toronto's going to go ahead and win that. The Yankees will be the number 1 wild card team. Texas last night lost at home to Detroit 7-4, so they are opening up a huge proverbial disaster if they don't win tonight at Detroit for themselves. In the National League East, St. Louis defeats Pittsburgh 3-0. It's now a 4-game lead. It would have been fun if Pittsburgh would have won last night. It would have been a 2-game lead going into tonight's game with 2 more to go in Pittsburgh. Okay, let's switch gears and go to football, college football. The top 5 teams, Ohio State, Michigan State, Ole Miss, TCU, and Baylor, with Notre Dame and UCLA close behind. UCLA 4-0. They shelled U of A in Tucson on Saturday night. Georgia, LSU, and Utah make up the top 10. Utah defeated Oregon 62-20, if you missed it. 62-20. I don't think Oregon gave up 62 points all season last year, let alone one game. I don't know how good the Ducks are. The Ducks drop out of the top 20. Incredible. SC is number 17, Stanford 18. Stanford's a sleeping giant, though. And California, number 24. So the Pac-12 really getting a lot better this year. The teams that were kind of in the middle last year really moving up. All right. John Papelbon has been suspended by the Washington Nationals for the rest of the year. He got into a fight with Bryce Harper in the dugout. The poor Washington Nationals, a team that a lot of people thought would win the East and maybe win the National League, will not be in the playoffs. Okay, Green Bay and Kansas City last night, Monday Night Football. Green Bay easily wins that game over Kansas City by a score of 35-24. They were talking about, and they're celebrating this year, the very first Super Bowl back in 1967. It was played between, guess who, those 2 teams, Green Bay and Kansas City. And let's see if you remember who won. I'll give you a second. It was a 35-10 victory for Green Bay. You remember the year, 1967. Do you remember the 2 coaches? Vince Lombardi for the Packers and Hank Stram for the Kansas City Chiefs. There's your trivia, there's your sports for this Tuesday afternoon. For KZGN, I'm Tom Heck.
So that's the news for today. All of us at KZGN-TV know you have a choice in what you watch for your news. We all thank you for choosing KZGN-TV, Ridgecrest's only locally owned community TV station. Coming up next, Ridgecrest Talk.